Hello, welcome everyone to Hanyu Chinese Podcast, your favorite place to learn Mandarin and explore Chinese culture. I'm Santi, and again, like every week, I'm with my very good friend Melanie. 你好, Melanie, how are you?
嗨，大家好，我很好，你们呢？And we're so excited for today's episodes because we will be covering two essential Chinese grammar points so the possessive 的 and the preposition 在。
That's very interesting. 的 and 在. We have seen 在 already, but I think we will see it in a different way. We saw 在 as in to be in a place, but we will see it as a preposition. That's very interesting. It's the first verb that has the preposition function, and we will cover. And we'll also talk about something very interesting. What is the best place in the world to grow old? My option has always been China, because in China, people, they always respect the elderly, and I think when I see old people in China, they always look very happy, and we will see why. Maybe it's not the best place to grow old. You can leave a comment, whatever you think is the best place, but yeah, my opinion, yes, it's China, and we will discuss why. Very
Yeah.
good, but yeah, we
Yeah.
start, suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course we will have a fun question for you. So
Yes.
you need to practice your Chinese with us. So stick around until the end.
Very good. So let's start, and we will see how this possessive, how the possessive the works. We will. What does it mean? How does it work, Madeline? Can you explain to us the?
Um, the structure is very simple. So here we plus honor and plus the and the object. So the indicates the possession.
Very good. So it's the subject, so the person that possesses the thing, then the particle the, and then the object. And this works with pronouns. For example, to say my, how do we say my in Chinese and the rest of pronouns?
我的
So I plus the means my. Oh, that's
yes
very simple. Then 你的, that is you and the, that's your, and 他的, that is he plus the means 他的, his.
yes.
Is the rest are the same? Like, for example, how do we say our?
Oh yeah, 我们的 so we plus the our.
Very good. 我们的, and your in plural will be 你们的, and there is 他们的. Very interesting. So
Right.
that's very simple. Subject or the possessor, then the plus the object, and we can use pronouns for that. Very good. Very interesting. Now let's see an example. For example, how do we say that is my father? Here we have it.
那个 oh sorry
No,
那个是我的爸爸
very good. So why? How does it work, Melanie? This sentence. Why 那个是我的爸爸?
oh the structure 那个 that 是 is 我的 my 爸爸 father dad.
Very good. So that is my father. Very simple. 我的爸爸. In this case, 爸爸 is the object. So my father is 我的爸爸. Very good. Let's see another one. For example, this one. What does it say? Melanie?
这是你的书
Very interesting. 这是你的书. So this is 这 this 是 is 你的书 your book. 这是你的书 is this is your book. Very good. Very simple. I think everyone is getting the gist. 这是你的书 is this is your book because 你的 is your. You plus the means your. But we can also use personal names. For example, in this sentence, isn't it? Anna the shoe. How does it work, Melanie?
So a person's name plus the object or plus the noun. So Anna 的书 Anna's book.
So it really looks like apostrophe S, like very similar to apostrophe S.
Exactly.
So for English speakers, I think learning this is very easy because you just need to replace apostrophe S by the particle the, and that's it. For example, Paul's father would be Paul的爸爸 or 保罗的爸爸. Huh?
Yes.
So it's very, very, very simple. Very good. There is one interesting point, which is, can we sometimes get rid of the? Melanie?
Very good question. So, as what you said, in Chinese, when talking about close relationships or something very personal, like your family, your company, you can often drop the to make it sound more natural.
So, in this sentence, for example, we said we should say 那个是我的爸爸, but we could also say 那个是我爸爸. Does it sound better?
Yeah, that sounds more spoken Chinese.
Ah, very good. So we use these with personal things like family members. I heard that also with my company, we say 我公司. I found it fascinating that for Chinese people, the personal things are your family and your company. 我爸爸、我妈妈、我哥哥、我弟弟和我公司 my company. So very interesting. 那个是我爸爸. Very good. 那个是我公司. So we know when it's something very personal, we can get rid of the. Very good. Now, let's move on and we will see the second topic that we will cover in grammar today, which is a preposition type. What does it mean, Tai? Does it mean more than one thing, Melanie?
So 在 we use it to indicate location or act as a preposition. So there are two ways. 在.
Very good. So sometimes we will see 在 as a verb and sometimes as a preposition in, at, or something. Different prepositions. For example, this question, what does it mean? Melanie, can you read it for us?
你在哪儿工作?
你在哪儿工作? So, here, 在 is not to be in a place. What does it mean here, 在?
Here means you at or in where to work. You work at where.
Very good. So this is the interesting thing. 在 here, it's like in or at, because in this sentence, there is already another verb, which is 工作. And this is something that we'll learn. When there is another verb, a main verb in a sentence, either a question or an affirmative or negative sentence, 在 will not work as a verb, but as a preposition. Let's see the answer to this question. The question was 你在哪儿工作? You at where work? The answer is very simple because we replace the question word with the answer, which is in a hospital. What is the answer, Melanie?
So 我在医院工作. I in the hospital work. I work in the hospital.
Very good. So here, 在 is not a verb, but a preposition because the verb is 工作. So 在 in this case is at. It's very interesting the structure because as we can see here, 在医院, that is the location, doesn't go after the verb but before the verb. Let's look at the next sentence. What does it say? A minute.
我在家吃饭. I at home eat. I eat at home.
Very good. So again, 在家 goes before the verb. We don't say 我吃饭在家, and we don't say 我工作在医院, because the location goes before the verb. Good. So for those who are listening to us, just remember that thing. Location goes before the verb. 我在家吃饭. But does it always go before the verb? Location? We will see some exceptions. So for example, we have these two verbs. What are the exceptions, Melanie?
So we got two exceptions. First one, 去 to go. Second one, 住 to live.
Pretty good. I put here to reside because it's not to live as in to be alive, but to live in a place. So 去 is to go and 住 is to live in a place. Where do we put the place? For example, if we say we go to China, how do we say that in Chinese?
Oh, 我们去中国. We go to China.
We don't say China before the verb. No.
Yeah, because here 去 is the verb.
Very good. So we don't say 我中国去. Can we say that?
No, we cannot say that. It's wrong.
Okay, very good. And same happens with 住. For example, if I say I live in China, how do we say that in Chinese?
我住在中国.
Very good. Can we say 我在中国住?
It's not wrong, but we rarely say that.
Very good. So in this case, it's not wrong, but it's not preferred. So the best option for these two verbs is to place the location after. There is a third exception, which is the verb 在. We don't say 我中国在. I'm not in China. We say 我在中国. So location goes after 在 when 在 is a verb. So just summarize with 去, with 住, and with 在. The location goes after. But if the verb is any other, like 工作 or 吃饭, the location goes before the verb. Yeah? Very good. That was very interesting. Now, we want to leave a question for our listeners. And is this question, Melanie, where does your father work? Where does your father work? Are you able to say this question in Chinese? If so, please leave us a comment. Here in YouTube or Twitch or LinkedIn, whatever you're reading. Can you please write in Chinese, where does your father work? We love reading.
Have a try.
Yes, you want to try?
Yeah. We're waiting for your answer. So have a try. 试试吧.
Yes, I thought you wanted to have a try. I said no, not yet, Melanie. Gave them a chance. Okay, Melanie. If they want to learn, sorry, if they enjoy the podcast, our listeners, what should they do?
Oh, yeah. So everyone, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to our podcast. It will help us create more great content for you. You're very welcome. 欢迎, 欢迎.
Very good. And now we'll discuss this thing that maybe I'm the only person that thinks that, but I do believe that China maybe is the best place to grow old. And you may not agree with me, but I think it's a good opportunity to talk about the respect for elders and the dynamics that happen in China between generations. So let's start with the respect for the elderly. Is it China different than other places regarding the respect for the elderly?
I think respect for the elders is at the heart of Chinese culture. It's a very important part of Chinese culture. So it's something you will notice in everyday life. So for example, did you know that in traditional Chinese homes, grandparents often get the best rooms in the house and they have a special serve on the table?
No way. So they have the best place to sleep and the best food?
Yes, it is.
Good. In Western world, if grandparents never live in the same house as the rest of the family. They live on their own. And if they happen to stay with us, they will never live in the bedroom. That is not their place. Man, that's fine.
It's quite different. It's quite different.
Very, very different. Yes. The first thing that people do in Western world when they get married is to be as far away as possible from each other's parents. Yes, they don't. They want to be ensure the independence.
Okay.
Yes, I don't know. It's very, very, very different, I suppose. Um, so, is this respect only at home, or is it also in other places?
Good question. So this respect extends beyond the home. So in public, it's common to offer your seat to an older person on the bus or subway. And at meals, as I say, on the table, elders are always served first, and the young family members might even pour tea for them as a sign of respect.
Oh wow, that's very good. So this reminds me again. I love to talk about Confucianism. It reminds me of Confucius, no, because it's all
Yes.
about the filial piety, like the xiao, and the idea of honoring and caring for your parents and your elders. These, I think it's interesting because it's Confucianism really, really affected Chinese culture. Like even if people don't believe in that, or it's not the idea of living, but it's so ingrained regardless of Chinese being Christian or Buddhist or whatever religion they are.
Yes.
They all have these Confucian values, 孔子. Found that they're very
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we all Confucianism in China. Confucius has really affected regardless of
Yeah.
your
It's
background.
part of our blood. It's in our blood.
Yes, I put here
Yeah.
this movie because I want to recommend this movie. The Farewell was very good. I really liked it, and it really showed these dynamics between older and younger people. So if you want to watch a movie that I think it's an American movie, but with lots of Chinese or Hong Kongese people, that shows a little bit this kind of relationships. Now we talk about multi-generational living because for us Western people, this is also very, very, very strange. Is it possible to
Interesting.
live with your grandparents? How does it work, Melanie?
So actually, you think it's strange, but actually, it's a typical Chinese household. So you might find grandparents, parents, and children all living under the same roof. It's very normal here in China.
Oh wow, we will never do that here. But the fear here is because when when you get married and you start your new family, you are worried that your in-laws will like get involved in your life and don't let you do your thing, which I suppose is the same fear in China, but they make it work, and I don't know how. I don't know if you know how. I have no idea.
Yeah, we've never learned that. Yeah, our culture is just quite different from Western cultures.
Yes, very good. So yeah, that's very interesting. And we wanted also to talk about how does it work the comparisons in Spain, in Europe. What I found is that when an older generation gets at an age, they normally go to live in a residence or a home for the elderly. But that doesn't happen that often in China, doesn't it? Like when you're older, you normally still live with your son or your daughter and their family.
Mm. Yeah. In China, it's like that. So this reflects a different set of values. So in the West, independence and personal space are highly valued, like what you explained. And while in China, family and community take precedence.
Mm. Yeah, it's very good. So that's why I think that being an old person, I prefer living it with my family than in an
Being
elderly
taken
home.
care of.
Being honest, yeah. So it just has more a stronger family support in China. I think that is more valued. I think yes. So this is important, but also in China, if I go to a Chinese home, um, should I take this into consideration if I'm visiting a friend, something, and there is their like grandparents and their parents? Who should I greet first?
So very good question. So as we have this culture, we respect the elders. So when you come to visit, when you're invited in the Chinese family, so it's always great the eldest family members first is the best, and never take the best seat unless it's offered to you, because normally the best seats are prepared for the elders.
Very good. So these things are to show appreciation and respect. So those are the values that if we go to China, we need to learn. Huh? Very good.
Yeah.
So is China the best place to grow old? Madeline, what do you think?
Oh, I think it depends on what you value. If you cherish strong family ties and daily interactions with loved ones, it might just be the ideal place.
Very good. And I think that I'm saying this, but from a Western viewpoint, this has lots of challenges. But I think the benefits, I think they're way more important. So yeah, I'm going to invite my mother and my mother-in-law to live with us. I think that's let's not do too much talking and more actions. I think they're the ones that don't want to live with me. That is a
You
different
will
thing.
have you will have a lot of challenges.
Yes, I know. It will be fun, but challenging fun. Very good. So let's answer the question that we gave to our audience. The question was, do you remember? What was the question? The question was, where does your father work? Do you know the answer, dear audience? And we have here the answer. What is the answer, Natalie?
Oh, 你的爸爸在哪儿工作？
Okay, 你的爸爸在哪儿工作? Could I say also 你爸爸在哪儿工作?
Oh, that's better.
That's even better. Wow. So if you have written 你爸爸在哪儿工作 or 你的爸爸在哪儿工作, you did it right. Very good. And just remember in this question, because we have already a question word, which is 哪儿, we don't need to use ma at the end to indicate that is a question, because 哪儿, the question word, already indicates that it's a question. Very good. So what did we learn today, Melanie? That's a little recap.
A lot of things. Today we have learned how to use the for possession and 在 for location as a preposition. So plus we explored how Chinese culture values respect for elders and multi-generational living.
Very good. And if you like this podcast, don't miss the next week's podcast. The episode will be about red envelopes. In China, it is possible to receive these red envelopes, and you will wonder what is inside and why do people give red envelopes. And I think it's very interesting. Red envelopes.
Yes.
And we'll also talk about this question: how many people are in your family, and also how old are you? So we'll talk about quantities, the quantity of family members and the quantity of years that you live. That will be very interesting.
Yeah. And don't forget to visit our website, hanyu-chineseschool.com for your free trial class. And thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.
It's been a pleasure. Goodbye, everyone. Bye bye.